Hey there, my beautiful soul. Danielle Corinne 999 here, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit more structured, more educational, and I believe very eye-opening. We're going to explore the exact science behind why toxic relationships feel like DURG addiction and why they are so incredibly hard to walk away from, even when you know that that person is hurting you. By the end of this video, you'll be able to understand your patterns, your cravings, your emotional triggers, and most importantly, how to break the cycle for good. So let's get into it. So to understand why toxic relationships feel addictive, we have to break down what actually happens inside your brain during the relationship. That's what's most important. When you're with someone who is inconsistent, loving one moment and cold the next, your brain releases irregular waves of dopamine. Dopamine is the same neurotransmitter that gets triggered with cocaine, gambling, alcohol, nicotine, and other addictive substances. But here's the difference. When the DURG you're addicted to is a person, the reward system becomes emotional, unpredictable, and deeply confusing. Every time they pull away, you crash. Every time they come back, you get high. This push-pull dynamic creates a trauma bond, and trauma bonds are some of the most powerful addictions the human mind can develop. It's not because you're weak. It's because the relationship literally rewired your neurological pathways. So let's break down the trauma bond. Let's break it down into clear stages so you can identify exactly where you got trapped. First, the love bombing phase. This is the phase where the person overwhelms you with affection, attention, compliments, and intensity. Your brain starts releasing a large amount of dopamine and oxytocin, the bonding hormone. You create a powerful emotional connection early on. And then comes the devaluation phase. The affection suddenly drops. They pull away. They become cold. They criticize you or create distance. You start feeling anxious and insecure and emotionally unstable. Your brain wants that high again. And then there's that intermittent reinforcement. This is where the addiction solidifies. They give affection, then they take it away. They apologize, then they hurt you again. Then they show up, and then they disappear. This inconsistency literally mirrors the reward schedule used in addiction studies, and it's the most addictive pattern known to psychology. And then comes the withdrawal phase. When you try to leave or when they discard you, your brain goes into emotional withdrawal. The anxiety, the obsessive thinking, the cravings, the guilt, the loneliness, the bargaining, the self-blame, the fear of losing the connection. These symptoms are nearly identical to DURG withdrawal, except that the DURG was emotional. Now let's break down the core reasons people return to toxic partners even after promising themselves that they wouldn't. Well, chemical cravings. Your brain is literally craving the dopamine from the highs that you got used to. The familiarity feels safe. Even when it's unhealthy, the brain prefers what it knows over the unknown. And then there's that hope for change. You remember the beginning, the love bombing, and you keep waiting for that version to reappear. And then there's that fear of being alone. Toxic partners often create emotional dependency, making you doubt your value without them. Then there's the emotional flashbacks. Emotional flashbacks. The small triggers. A text. A memory. A photo. They all activate old chemical loops. And then the psychological conditioning. You weren't just in a relationship. You were conditioned. And conditioned responses take time to break. Healing is not just emotional. It requires strategy and structure. And here are proven steps backed by psychology and trauma recovery research. The first is no contact. No contact or very minimal contact. This is the equivalent of detox. You must remove the source of the addiction long enough for your brain to recalibrate. And then you have the cognitive reframing. This is all backed by psychology now. Stop romanticizing the beginning. Focus on the full picture. See the pattern, not the potential. And then third, emotional regulation practices. That's meaning meditation, breath work, journaling, creative expression, prayer. These help to detox your nervous system and stabilize your emotions. And then, of course, you always need a support system. Healing becomes easier when you're surrounded by people who remind you of your worth and help you stay accountable. And then, of course, you have to replace the addiction with purpose. Channel your emotional energy into something that feeds you. Your goals, your spirituality, your body, your creativity, your healing journey. Your life needs a bigger mission than the pain that you're walking away from. You need a mission. And then you need maybe professional support, Sometimes that's needed. Therapy, coaching, trauma-informed guidance can help you break lifelong patterns and rebuild self-value. So my beautiful soul, I want you to remember this. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not crazy. You were just chemically bonded to chaos. And now, the good news is you're breaking free. Recovery from toxic love is not a straight line. It's not always easy, but it is possible. And it's one of the most powerful transformations you will ever experience. So if this video spoke to you, brought clarity to you, or helped you in any way, and helped you understand yourself on a deeper level, please make sure that you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Comment below, by saying, I choose healing over addiction. I want you to put that in the comments. I choose healing over addiction. And share this with somebody who needs to hear it. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I really appreciate it. I love you. I see you. And I'm proud of you for taking the steps necessary to detox from that toxic relationship. So until next time, my beautiful soul, be blessed, keep choosing you, and I'll see you in the next video.